As the years pile on, I'm starting to feel the wear and tear of father time creeping up on me. It used to be my knees giving me a hard time, but lately, my back's been joining the party too. Sounds kinda lame, but it seems like every time I wake up with some sort of injury, it's because of something that I did when I was sleeping. I used to shrug it off thinking, I must have slept funny. But then I started to notice a pattern. People out there on the internet are raving about sleeping on the floor. Yeah, you hear me right, the floor. Some of them are swearing by it for back pain relief, better sleep, and better recovery. Their theory is that my aches and pains are coming from my mattress. This didn't sit well with me. I mean, aren't beds supposed to provide all of those perks? Was this some sort of elaborate scheme orchestrated by Big Mattress? Have they been intentionally making us soft and achy by peddling progressively softer surfaces for us to sleep on? So I figured the only way to know if it was really worth the hype was to give it a shot myself. I'm diving headfirst into the floor sleeping lifestyle for the next week. I'll document every toss, turn, and midnight breakdown, and let you be the judge on if it's the real deal or just another internet fad. Here we go. Tonight is night 1 of the experiment. I'm pretty hardcore about my sleep, so messing with this is sort of freaking me out. For those that know me, knew that in my teens, I had like clinical insomnia and sometimes didn't sleep for days, at one point, weeks at a time, and it was a very challenging thing to overcome. But to be honest, I think this is all gonna be worth it if I can discover a hack that will take my sleep to the next level. We do spend 1/3 of our life laying in bed, so I do understand why these biohacker types are always trying to optimize sleep. To be honest though, I'm starting to feel like these biohacking types just want me to be homeless. First cold exposure, then grounding, and now sleeping on the floor. And I'm sleeping alone, which I haven't done in quite some time. Kayla, you gonna miss me, hun? You don't sound like you're gonna miss me, hun. Shouldn't give a shit. Anyway, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. So that was interesting. I think I slept for like 5-6 hours, but I was waking up constantly the entire night. I was changing positions and becoming fully awake and then going back to bed. It wasn't like sleeping in a regular bed. You sort of have to, because you have to relieve parts of your body, so you have to become awake and like figure out where you're kind of sore and then redistribute your weight. I don't feel well rested at all. I would say it's like a 5 out of 10 as far as like how mentally rested I feel. But my body, oddly enough, feels quite awake, almost like I didn't just crawl out of bed. It could be just because I was so uncomfortable all night that my body feels this way, but I guess we'll find out as the day goes on.
Day 1 was rough. I had an 8 a.m. Zoom call at the office, and when I turned on the camera, I could see that I looked visibly exhausted. I felt okay at first, but once the afternoon kicked in, I could really feel myself starting to fade.
Hey, so I'm exhausted after today, and I'm hoping that's gonna help me fall asleep a bit faster. Normally, it only takes me a couple of minutes to fall asleep, but last night it felt like it took forever. And I also decided I'm gonna wear my Apple Watch tonight because I wanna be able to track how often I wake up. It felt like last night I was waking up at least every hour, hour and a half, so figured I would just track it and see what that looks like. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Night 2, here we go.
Over the next 2 nights, I started seeing a gradual improvement in the amount of time I was waking up. And I also started falling asleep quicker, which tells me I was beginning to adapt a bit. I started to find better positions to switch between, and I figured out how to distribute my weight in a way that was more balanced.
I don't know if it's because I've been hitting them squats, but the gap between the floor and my lower back is starting to create a bit of discomfort. Normally with a mattress, all parts of my body are going to be equally supported by the mattress, even though this part of my body and this part of my body are heavier than this part of my body. On the floor, there isn't really any support that kind of goes into my lower back.
The following 3 nights, I started to really experience some changes.
Okay, so something really weird just happened. I went to bed feeling kind of ill, and it kind of sucked having to crawl into the bed on the floor versus my mattress, because I was not feeling well. I ended up sleeping for like 10 hours right here on the floor, and the position my body was in when I first laid down was the same position I woke up in, and I didn't wake up once throughout the night. That was one of the best sleeps I've had in a long time, and I slept like an absolute baby. I was not expecting to be adjusting this quickly.
That discomfort in my lower back was gravity coming down on my spine. This is the source of a lot of pain for me. I get spasms and aches, and sometimes even when I stretch, I can start to feel some serious pain. Now this pain has literally just vanished. I didn't understand, so I started doing some research.
I tell them, good, you should be moving around. You're just gonna naturally move because your body is starting to get pressure in certain spots, so it's gonna move to decrease that pressure. Now I get more blood flow, great, my tissue is wonderful, happy. So if you are lying in a position and you start to get those feelings of pressure, what are you gonna do? You're gonna roll around more at nighttime. The more you move at nighttime, the more we're evenly distributing the blood to all of our tissues. The body craves movement. I mean, we have to have movement. So sleeping on a firmer surface is going to make you actually move a little bit more at nighttime, which is gonna be a positive thing as far as a pain perspective goes.
Hey guys, checking in. So it's been 6 nights now. I think I'm starting to feel the physical benefits, but I've been getting close to 5 hours of sleep per night. One thing I will mention though, is that even though my time on the floor has been the same, the quality of sleep that I've been having, I have not felt tired at work, and even when I get home, I don't feel like I'm gonna pass out at 6, 7, 8 p.m. But to be honest with you, I think to do this experiment correctly, I'm gonna have to do it for a few more days.
I decided I needed to extend this experiment because I really wasn't sure about my verdict. As with everything, there are clearly pros and cons, but I wasn't sure where I landed just yet. A few extra days gave me a better picture of what life on the floor could look and feel like. But it was just a few days later that I would realize the truth, a reality I'm not sure I could accept.
We made it. Tonight's my last night on the floor. And then tomorrow, I'm back on my mattress, the mattress I've been sleeping on for the past 6 years. To be honest, I've sort of learned to like sleeping on the floor. At first, it was like a whole thing, but then eventually I would just come up to bed and look at the floor and just crawl into the blankets like it was any other bed that I've ever slept in. You get used to it surprisingly fast. The crazy part is I have none of the aches and pains that I normally had. No lower back pain, no sore shoulders when I wake up. I feel loose and limber and more energized in my body, even if I don't necessarily feel more energized in my head, if that makes sense. The only issue that I'm having right now is that my low sleep durations of about 5 hours are starting to worry me, even if my sleep scores are looking pretty good. Anyway, signing off, heading to bed for my last night. See you later.
After sleeping on the floor for 10 straight days, it was time to put my results to the test. Now that I've measured my sleep and logged my experience, it's time to go back to the mattress and see what happens.
All right, so it's my first night back in the bed. And to be honest, it feels kind of nice. It feels nice to be able to jump into the place that I sleep, dive, and not worry about my back hurting. You don't know what you got till it's gone. So maybe this is an example of that, where I was complaining about the bed and then I slept 10 days on the floor, and then, once I'm on the mattress again, I realized what I was missing out on. And maybe big mattress isn't some huge conspiracy after all. Maybe these are just good for us. We'll see. I'm hoping for a good result because I really don't want to have to go back to sleeping on the floor. But if I'm achy and sore and tense, I may have to. So anyway, good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
It was nice to be back in my bed, sleeping next to Kayla and our toddler Valen whenever he would decide to show up. But something unexpected started to happen.
Good morning, guys. So, a bit concerning. I'm just 2 nights back on the mattress again, and I have some serious shoulder pain. And actually right now it's both of my shoulders. Normally it's just one of them. This is something that I used to deal with all the time. And part of the reasons why I wanted to do this experiment, so the fact that I was 10 days without this problem, and now I'm back on the mattress and I've got it after 2 days, is kind of a showing detail. And I really don't want it to be true, but it might be my mattress that's causing these problems. So anyway, check in later. So I've been testing my sleep for the past 17 days. 10 days of sleeping on the floor, and then a week sleeping on my mattress. And now that I've done both, I think I know where I stand on this whole sleeping on the floor thing. At this point, I don't think there's actually a functional benefit to sleeping on my mattress. There was one night sleeping on the floor that I slept for 10 hours straight. Now that I've done that, I know I could probably get 7 to maybe 8 hours of sleep laying on the floor, even though throughout this experiment that was kind of hard to achieve. As far as pain relief, my experience is that the claims are true. I'm still not 100% sure how this is working, but I can't deny the results. I'm sort of mad at myself for even trying this experiment because now that I've done it, I don't really want to sleep in my bed. Between sitting for 6 to 10 hours a day and then sleeping on a mattress that does all the support for me, it's not really surprising that your spine, the thing that you need for support and mobility, will begin to atrophy. That being said, I don't even think doctors would even be prescribing, this type of solution because the science is just so inconclusive. So I would say if this is something that makes sense for you and makes sense for your existing ailments, then I would say it's definitely worth giving a try.
Now, I'm not sure if this will be my last sleeping on the floor video because I think I do want to do a longer term trial and experiment and see what the results look like. So for now, I'm just going to keep trying to sleep on the floor, and it looks like Valen's going to get my side of the bed. I don't know what else to say. I guess you could say I was floored by this experiment. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments below. Have you ever tried sleeping on the floor? And if you have, what were your results like? See you in the next video.